We chose to do using station teaching with students with disabilities as our micro credential.
And what would an earner need to do in order to receive this micro credential?
They would need to submit lesson plans with their co-teacher, of course, and submit a video and a lesson.
And Marlene, if you were thinking about the development of the micro credential and how that's impacted you and your professional learning experience as an educator and a developer of a micro credential, what would you be your reflection on that?
I think that it allowed me to dive deeper into what station teaching actually was. I think a lot of times that not just as special ed teachers, but as regular ed teachers, we don't really understand what station teaching means. And I think developing this micro credential allowed me to understand what is expected in station teaching.
And the other question I would ask you all is, how do you think that a earner or a teacher who is participating in this micro credential would how that would this enhance or better improve their own professional practice?
Just like I collaborate with many teachers, and me and David Napier, we do this really well. We have our three stations, and really, it's not just for the special education teacher either. It's for actually the regular ed also. So, me and Dave will split our class up, and we'll split them into threes. So I'll take a group, Dave will take a group, and we let another group work independently. And some teachers, they'll do station teaching, but they'll just do like I'll have a group and then they'll have a group. But we have developed an independent group as well with Dave, and that's really a lot of them didn't know that with the station teaching that that independent group, it really helps kids communicate with each other, and also helps the kids guide each other.
So it certainly seems like an earner would kind of work through those misconceptions of what you might think co-teaching is, and to really be able to apply that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Another thing I would ask is, so would this be appropriate for a general ed teacher and a special education teacher? And could you kind of talk about that a little bit?
I think
Go ahead.
Go ahead. It would be appropriate for either one. Like I said earlier, I think station teaching is beneficial for both special ed students and regular ed students. And if it's used appropriately, you wouldn't know who the regular ed kids are and the special ed kids, because they would all be getting that rigorous instruction that they need.
Yeah, if you walked into a classroom and saw station teaching, you would. All the kids would be learning and communicating, and you'd see two teachers with two different groups, and then the other group, the kids leading each other. So you wouldn't be able to tell who was who.
Good. I do have one other question I wanted to ask you. Is there anything that you would say that maybe we didn't talk about just now that would be that would highlight some of the work that's happened through the development of this micro credential? So if either one of you have anything that you'd like to say about, just thinking about overall the work that's happened, the thinking, the research behind that, is there anything else you'd like to highlight?
With us here at the high school, we have older kids, they chose to do virtual learning. Mm-hmm. A lot of them, elementary school, they may have had more in person, but here, with using station teaching, we can use our breakout rooms, and that's made it so much easier. We can use those breakout rooms, and we can go. Teachers can click back and forth through those rooms, so we can make sure the kids are actually staying on task, and we're doing our stations, and then we can click over to the independent group and make sure they're doing their work. So that's really helped us a lot.
So it kind of sounds like that, the co-teaching practice could be used in a virtual classroom, in an in-person setting, but also in a hybrid model.
Yes.
So it really has some versatility there, but it's good just the practice of using the co-teaching strategy and station teaching. Any other thoughts before we conclude?
No, it's just a really great strategy to use, especially if you have a classroom with 10 special ed kids and let's say 20 regular ed, it's worked really smooth for us.
That's great. Good. Well, I thank you both very much for sharing this. I know that was a lot of work that you put into this and the development of the micro-credential, but I really believe that an earner could really have a greater, deeper understanding of how to apply station teaching across different settings. You think this would be applicable for multiple content areas?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.